Oh, welcome back. President Trump soon expected to announce a newly revised travel ban, and we're told this one will have some key differences from the original order that was shot down by a federal court. According to those in the know, the new executive order will exclude green card holders as well as those with existing visas. We're also told there will be a new stance on refugees from certain places, but we still don't have a clear idea on what's going to happen with the ban on people from 7 predominantly Muslim nations, which caused such a stir in the first place. Well, let me discuss this with Judge Jeanine Pirro, host of Justice with Judge Jeanine. It's on the Fox News channel. Let's talk about this. Do you think it's smart, instead of fighting through the court system, to just rewrite the whole darn thing?
We know what their objections were. And we also know that even though Don McCann, White House counsel, said we weren't talking about the green card holders or the visa holders, and the court said, well, we don't care what he says, so we knew that had to be changed right away.
Yeah.
And there's no point in litigating something which could be mooted by a new executive order.
Yeah.
And so then they started looking at, in addition to the green card holders, the visa holders, well, let's talk about the fact that there was this criticism that there was a minority, the Christians, that were being referenced in this. And it made perfect sense to me, because in order to be granted asylum, if you are a minority religion in one of these countries, you get a preference.
Okay.
You know, the liberals couldn't deal with that.
No, because they say this applies a religious test.
But asylum allows for a religious test.
Yeah.
If you are a minority religious community and you are being persecuted.
And there's a difference between asylees and refugees.
Right. And yeah, perfect. Very good. And by the way, they aren't just being persecuted they're being killed. They're having their heads chopped off. So this isn't, you know, they're not making this stuff up. So to answer your question, yes, start all over again. Does that mean that they'll not relitigate it? They'll sue. Of course they're going to sue.
Yeah. And do you think they're going to do that with every executive order that they find political disagreement with, just force it through the court system?
You know what I think? I think after watching the president's joint session speech, watching Democrats who sat on their tails while the president said things like America first, or, you know, we're going to get back jobs in this country, I am now convinced that there are people who just despise him so wholeheartedly that it matters not what the man says. It may even behoove you.
Well, and you don't have to stand up and cheer. I agree with that. And I pointed that out in my monologue, that, you know, there are certain things that we can all agree on, and that we'd like people in this country to have great jobs. You know, we want the economy to do better. Those are our beliefs that no party, they shouldn't. So at least a smattering of polite applause if it's something you minutely agree with, especially in a centrist speech. Now, are you surprised that he didn't talk specifically about Dreamers and this sort of retooling of his immigration stance?
Yes and no. I think he did. I read it into it because he said it's not going to happen without some concessions from both sides.
Yeah.
And you juxtapose that with what he had said ahead of time, which is, you know what, and he's hinted at this for a while. You know, these kids, they're undocumented, but they came here as young children. They were educated in our schools. And by the way, in terms of how he feels about people educated here and then going back to their home countries, I mean, why don't we take advantage of this? So I think that I think he handled it perfectly.
Do you think that Dreamers should be given citizenship?
I think that given that immigration will be one of his signature issues, I think he understands that there are certain things he's got to give on.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with Ronald Reagan in '86, when he gave amnesty to everybody, and then so now we're going to end it, and we never ended it. He's got to end it after he makes a decision where he's going to bend a little.
Unfortunately, we have to end this conversation. Come back and see me soon, Judge.
I will.
Always great to see you.
Always great
Judge
to see you.
Jeanine. Ow.